In this video, I'm going to show you 5 of the most well-known, most loved Apple Brandy Calvados cocktails. Now, in my opinion, Apple Brandy Calvados really does fall under the radar. There is no Smirnoff, there is no Jack Daniels, there is no Bacardi of the Apple Brandy Calvados world. So to most people, it'll be completely unheard of. But if you have got a bottle and you want to know how to use it, or you're a little bit intrigued, then stick with me. And if you don't know what Calvados actually is, then I'm going to dive into the first 2 cocktails and then I'm going to explain all. Now behind me, I have got 4 different bottles of Calvados, all from the same brand. I'm not going to turn this into a brand showcase. If you want to know more about this, then let me know in the comments below. I'm just going to use a sort of standard sort of 2-year-old Calvados, but there are plenty. There's an unaged, there's a 6-year-old, there's a Pomo there. If you want to know more, just hit me up. Now we're going to start off super easy. This is the Jack Rose, loosely riffed off a daiquiri, a lemon drop, all those kind of cocktails. But this is just like a 2 ingredient tweak if you're swapping the rum for like a Calvados, but also the sugars being swapped as well. So first ingredient is your Calvados of choice. 45 ml, 60 ml is completely up to you. Again, your Calvados choice is completely up to you. The 2-year-old has spent a little bit of time in the barrel, obviously, so you're going to kind of get rid of those harsher notes off the unaged. I love unaged spirits, completely up my sort of street. Love them. But the 2-year-old just sits nicely. You don't lose any of that fresh appliness, but you also get a little bit of barrel aging to mellow it out. 22.5 ml, 3/4 of an ounce of lemon juice. Now, of course, this is going to work incredibly well with sugar as well to create like a Calvados daiquiri, a Calvados lemon drop, but the Jack Rose is with grenadine. So again, adjust to taste, your own personal preference. I'm going for 15 ml. Then after a good hard shake, double strain it into your favorite martini coupe or Nick and Nora glass. That is absolutely exquisite. Any of you that have been around my channel for a while know I love a daiquiri or a lemon drop. Spirit, citrus, sugar. It's just that classic light, clean, crisp, bright kind of cocktail. With this, you've got the apple notes that really do shine forward. It's almost an appletini. It is an appletini, except you've got the grenadine, and in this case, it's like a very heavy pomegranate with a slight hint of cherry coming through. You know, just to give it that red kind of colour, but you don't lose the apple. That is stunning, absolutely stunning. Now for cocktail 2, it's the sour. Now, the brandy sour, arguably one of the first ever sour cocktails. People largely know the whiskey sour. You go into rum sours, amaretto sour here in the UK, but brandy largely sort of kicked it off. Now, the obvious swap here, brandy for Calvados. It's essentially the same cocktail, we're just making it apple forward. The first ingredient, pretty obvious really, is your Calvados of choice. I think this is where you could go off on a tangent and try different Calvadoses. Like the 6-year-old that I've got behind me would give you a very different cocktail to what the 2-year-old has. It's spent more time in the barrel, so you've got like a deeper apple vibe with the sort of barrel notes. But I love fresh, zingy apple notes, so the 2-year-old for me works perfectly. 45 or 60 ml is completely up to you. Then you want some lemon juice, 30 ml, and then you want some sugar syrup. Typically, I'm always using 2-to-1. I don't think really all the brands are pretty much 2-to-1. I never make my own because I can't be bothered. So anything you buy is typically going to be about a 2-to-1. But if you are using a 1-to-1, then, you know, make it slightly or add a touch more. But for this, 2-to-1 syrup, 15 ml. And then just in case you don't know, a sour is typically an egg white cocktail because the egg white will give you kind of that sort of frothiness, but also that sort of velvety luxury, sort of luxurious consistency to the cocktail. Typically, I don't use it. I've got a different product for cocktail masterclasses. I actually use aquafaba in there, mainly because I'll have maybe vegans. And if I'm doing non-alcoholic amaretto sours or anything like that, it's kind of like no egg white or anything like that. Sorry, if I've got pregnant hens, so I don't use egg white there. But on videos, and if I was actually running a bar, I would be using this bad boy. This is Miss Better's Bitters Foamers, 8 to 10 drops, and you've got a lovely foamy cocktail. Then after a good shake, double strain into your favourite martini or coupe glass, or you could go over ice into a double old fashioned. Can't lie. Oh, wow. I could drink a lot of those. Light, clean, crisp, bright, frothiness, sourness. Oh, The apple really does shine through. It's why I like the 2-year-old for this, because you really do get a vibrant apple without too much of the barrel aging. It's just a stunning, stunning cocktail. Love that. Right, so what the flipping heck is Calvados apple brandy? All right, this, you know, it might be obvious to you bartenders, but anyone at home watching this is probably completely zero knowledge of this. So I'm going to dumb this right down. It is a lot more involved than what I'm about to tell you, but you will understand the bare basics here. So, and I'm going to start off with all spirit categories. I'm going to talk you through it because then you will understand, I think. So, vodka. Vodka, anything starchy with sugars that you can ferment that turns into alcohol is a vodka. There is legal ramification. You've got to distill vodka to like 95, 96% ABV, maybe slightly higher. Don't know that. But anything, potatoes, corn, wheat, barley, apples, Dutch balm, you know, anything you distill. Now, that's actually an important note because the difference between that and that we'll come on to in a second. But apples, yeah, vodka, Calvados. So anything starchy that can be turned into sugars that you can ferment and distill to a very high ABV, say 95, I think it might be slightly higher, is a vodka. Yeah. Gin, exactly the same thing. Add one single juniper berry to that. Gin. There will be a lot more juniper berries in most gins than that, but gin is essentially the world's first flavoured vodka. Juniper flavoured gin. Yes, you will have other botanicals like citrus peels, lemon, lime, oranges. You'll have coriander. You'll have loads of other plethora. You could pick 101 different botanicals, but that's essentially gin. Vodka with juniper. We've got those big two covered. Whiskey. This is where it all goes off at a tangent. And yes, I know the whiskey fans are going to really come at me here, but to dumb this right down so the bare, like if you've got zero knowledge of this so you can understand it, whiskey is essentially distilled beer. All right? Real ale. Go down your local boozer, whatever the real ales are in there in the UK, ferment and distill that, you've got whiskey. Yes, there's a lot more to it, but that's what it is. To make a whiskey, you have to make the beer first. So whiskey is basically distilled beer. All right? Yes, I know there's a lot more to it, but that's it in a nutshell. Right. Brandy. This is where people really, it makes me laugh because wine is one of the biggest like alcoholic categories out there. Wine is loved the world over, and yet you'll get people that go, oh, don't like brandy. All brandy is distilled wine. It's as simple as that. You take your grapes, you juice them, you ferment them, you've got wine. You then distill that fermented wine and you've got brandy. Yes, there's a lot more to it than that, and regional variations. Cognac can only be cognac, Armagnac can only be Armagnac, etc., etc., etc. But that's all brandy is, distilled wine. So to take this a step further to Calvados, it's apples. You take your apples and juice them. So you've got apple juice. You ferment that and you've got cider, and then you distill that cider. Calvados, if you're in Normandy, apple brandy, the rest of the world. Now, I've said that in the vain hope that that actually might attract a wider audience, because cider here in the UK is massive, absolutely massive. And as I say, I think Calvados is largely underappreciated because people literally have no idea of what it is. Once they understand it's cider, I think you will get a lot of people sort of, oh, I'd like to try that. And yes, I know spirits are very different to ciders and beers and all that sort of stuff, wine. But that's all it is. All right, so come out there, try some Calvados, try some apple brandy. What's the worst that can happen? So for your third Calvados recipe, we're going for an old fashioned. Now, old fashioned traditional whiskey, we know they work with rum because rum old fashions are incredible. Brandy old fashions are flipping-tastic. A tequila old fashioned, especially with the añejo tequila, is absolutely, out of this world. So why not Calvados? I am swapping the Calvados. I'm going for the 6-year-old because it's spent more time in the barrel, it's more adept to neat sipping, so should work a little bit better than the 2-year-old in an old fashioned. So let's go booze heavy here. 60 ml, 2 ounces of your favorite Calvados. Sugar in an old fashioned is always adjust to taste, so I'm going 10 ml, but if you want to add more, go for 15, 20. It's completely up to you. Then your final ingredient is the bitters, traditionally Angostura bitters. I've got a different brand here, Better's Aromatic Bitters. This is Calvados. Yes, it's going to work, but I want to go in a slightly different direction. Now, I'm completely aware 99% of you are not going to have this. This is purely for inspiration. Use your aromatic bitters of choice. But I'm actually going to use fig and fennel. Fig and apple is incredible, so this should work a treat. Now we're just going to stir that down to get your required level of dilution, but I can tell you the aroma of the fig and fennel and the Calvados is incredible. Then after a good stir, just strain that into your favourite double old-fashioned glass. No, I'm not a photographer. No thumbnail I take, no photo I take is ever going to do that justice. That is absolutely flipping fantastic. Yes, I know you're not going to have those bitters, but wow, what a combination that is. Fig and apple. Oh, I've got no more words. That's incredible. Now, the 4th Calvados cocktail, we are stealing from Brandy again, because why wouldn't we? It's that category. The Sidecar is one of the biggest brandy cocktails, and it's delicious. I don't think the original recipe hits anymore. I think you have to riff it up slightly. So we're going to turn this into a Calvados Sidecar. So we're back to our 2-year-old Calvados. If you want to stick with a 6-year-old or like any other brands out there, you do you. It's just the appleness. I'm just saying that the 2-year-old will give you a bigger, bolder apple, or fresher apple note, I should say. I'm just going for 45 ml, but if you want 60 ml, go for it. Then you're going to have to forgive me because I am going to do a little bit of a brand showcase now, because this is brand spanking new to me. This isn't even available yet here in the UK. And I'm just thinking, sod it. It tastes flipping fantastic. And let's just rock it out. So full disclosure, a lot of viewers that watch me a lot will know that I work with most of these brands behind me is one wholesaler here in the UK, and that's a new brand to them. This is Mur. I can't even really say it. It's like Mur Lemon. I don't know how you're supposed to say it. Hopefully the close-up, if we put that just there, hopefully the close-up will pick that up. MIR. It's an Australian brand, but it is a lemon. Now, this was touted to me as like a lemon aperitivo, a sort of citrus replacement. But having tasted it, I didn't quite understand what they were trying to tell me. But then when I got it and tasted it, I was like, oh my God, that is flipping incredible. And I know exactly how I would use it in cocktails. And for me, it is replacing the triple sec, the Cointreau's. This is John's brand as well, Fortunella. So they're coming from the same stables, but I would actually replace that with the Fortunella with that as well. So I'm going to be doing a lot of work with this with like lemon, it's not limoncello, but it's like lemon spritzes and things like that. But this is going to be incredible in margaritas, all those style of cocktails, daiquiris, especially this, the Sidecar as well. Now, all that over, this is just for me here because I've got it and it's a showcase, but triple sec, Cointreau, Grand Marnier, Mandarin Napoleon, whatever you got, 22.5 ml. I wouldn't go to 30 ml, 22.5 ml, 15 ml. I think you need slightly more. I think you need just in between. So 22.5 ml. Then you want 22.5 ml, 3/4 of an ounce of lemon juice. Then the original recipe doesn't have this, but I think it's an absolute must have in the Sidecar. And that's 10 ml of sugar. Then after a good shake, double strain into your favorite martini, coupe or Nick and Nora glass. That Sidecar. It's the sugar. You just need, like 10 ml might be overkill for some of you, but I think, you know, if I'm running a bar and I've got that on a menu, I want that on a menu, but I'm not going to not add sugar. I'm not going to do it. So the traditional Sidecar, 0 sugar. This, it does need bare minimum 5 ml. I think the sweet spot is about 10 ml. I think 15 ml is too much, but 10 ml just transforms that. Apple forward. It's like a sour, of course it is, but you've got that lemoniness from that lemon. Just, oh my God. Oh, I could drink a lot of those. Now for your final recipe, we're actually going for a threefer. If you're an old school bartender like me, this is a spirit and mixer, 3 different mixes. If you're a sort of new-ish sort of, well, a bartender with like 15 years of experience, you'd probably call this a highball. But if you're a new bartender just on the scene, this is a spritz. I'm just going to stick with what I know. It's a spirit, and we're going to do a mixer. Simple, completely up to you. 30ml, 45ml, 60ml, it's completely up to you. I'm probably going to drink, this is the last video that I'm filming, so I'm probably going to drink a couple of these, so I'm going 30ml. Right, so first things first, Calvados and tonic. Wow. So I don't think this is me in my old age. I think this is just a better taste. So I never would have been slimline tonic years ago. All right, this is whatever this is called, refreshingly light tonic. But I just think the taste of the slimlines are better than the full fats these days. And I don't know why that is, but I do. But, you know, Calvados, it's just a rant, just tonic, whatever tonic you like. Calvados and tonic is the first one. Now, the next one, I do think this largely depends on your brand of choice, because I don't think, well, saved it. I don't think every pink grapefruit soda works here. Some are not as good as others. And I'm going big brands here. There is another rival major brand to this that I normally love, that their pink grapefruit soda is terrible. So we're just going in there. Use your favourite pink grapefruit soda. So this is essentially a Calvados Paloma, if you like. And then the final one should be pretty damn obvious. I think you could go multiple different ways here, to be honest, with your highballs. But apple and ginger, of course, that's going to work. Whether you're going ginger beer, I'm going for ginger ale, because I think ginger ale is more of a catch-all than ginger beer. But all 3 of these are going to work fantastically well. It's a toss-up between those 2 right now, which I drink. But on another day, it would be the tonic. I'm probably going to go the ginger first and then the Paloma. There we go. There's 7. There's a bonus 2. There's 7 quality Calvados serves. Let me know your favourites. If you've got any alternative serves that you would like me to try in a future video, then go for it. Drop that in the comments below. I'm going to have a shot of this blanched now. I'll see you next time. Toodaloo!